So there's a nice high knee march. Just keep those feet moving. You want to slowly start increasing that range of motion as you can. So start with a relatively small range of motion and then start increasing as you get further and further into this exercise. We're about 15 seconds in. We got another 15 seconds to go on this one. Start working those knees up just a little bit higher. Try to get a little more range of motion out of those hips. We're moving to a jog in place next. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch that jog in place. Bring those heels up. Stay on the ball of that foot for just a few seconds before we switch over to the other foot. Nice even pace. Again, start relatively slow. You can always speed it up as you get further into it. Let those ankles and calves start to warm up. Start bringing that core temperature up just a little bit. Got about 10 seconds left until we move on to our next exercise, which is going to be a torso twist. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch it. Standing with those feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to rotate those shoulders back and forth. Try to keep those hips relatively stationary, mainly trying to just get a rotation around that torso. So twisting those shoulders left to right as far as you can, as far as is comfortable for that lower back. Again, start trying to push that range of motion a little bit more as you get further into it. We've got about 10 seconds left until we switch to our next. We're going to be doing a row plus a lateral step next. In 3, 2, 1, and switch it. So it's a lateral step, kind of a side lunge. Doing a nice long motion with those arms, so stretching out in front of your chest, then squeezing them back behind you, constantly working against yourself. So you want those muscles working against those arms, so your bicep and tricep working against themselves, your chest and your rhomboids working against themselves, trying to get a full range of motion and warm up that upper body. Really focus on that step as well, opening up those hips, getting those legs nice and warmed up. Got just a couple seconds left until we switch to squats. And go ahead and switch it. This is just a traditional squat. Feet, again, just about shoulder width apart or a little bit wider if you want. Dropping down as low as you can, as low as is comfortable. Try to get a really nice deep squat on every single one of them. Again, you can always start with a slightly more limited range of motion if those joints are still a little bit cold. But as long as they're nice and warm, start trying to push that range of motion. Get as much out of it as you can. Got about another 10 seconds. This is our last stretch or our last warm up. So just keep it going. 2, 1. Good job. That's the end of our warm-up. So let's go ahead and get started with our first exercise, which is going to be a slow burpee. Let's go ahead and start it up. Be stepping out with one foot at a time. Those hands go down to the ground. Nice, slow, controlled motion. Make sure every single time you step out, you're starting with the opposite foot you did last time. So every single time those hands drop down, one foot goes out. The next time you drop down, you want the opposite foot to start out. Keep those lungs open. And just try to work on getting a nice full range of motion. Only got a few seconds left until we switch to that active rest. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Jog in place. We got 15 seconds of jogging in place. Just keep those feet moving. If you end up getting really, really tired in between these exercises, you can always just stand and shuffle your feet back and forth, just kind of rocking back and forth, but always try to do something a little bit more intense. All right, let's go and move into a jumping jack. Nice full range of motion. Nice quick motion. Again, barely letting those feet touch the ground before you're jumping them back in the opposite direction. Keep those lungs open, breathing constantly. Make sure you never hold your breath. Just keep that motion under control at a nice, constant pace. 4, 3, 2, 1, and jog in place. That's one of each. We've got one more of each of these exercises, and we'll move to the next group. Our next two exercises are going to be a lateral step and reach and a ventral jack. So let's go ahead and get started with that lateral step and reach. Go ahead and stepping left to right, starting with those hands up over your head. Get a nice wide lunging motion. As you reach down to that opposite foot with opposite hand, so left hand to right hand to left foot, rotating those shoulders, really trying to get as much range of motion out of this as you can. You can always limit that range of motion if you need to, but try to get as much as you can, really trying to challenge yourself. Again, just keep those lungs open. Make sure you're breathing normally. Never hold your breath. Got about 10 seconds left until we switch to that active rest. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and jog in place. Get those feet moving. Again, This is just whatever you need to kind of recover a little bit to get into that next exercise. So if you're not really all that tired, you can always make it harder. If you are tired, you can always make it easier. And we're moving to those ventral jacks next, and go ahead and switch it. Those arms come straight up in front of your body. This is almost the same exact motion as a regular jumping jack. The only difference is that arm motion. So instead of coming up and out to the side, it's just coming straight in front of your body. Got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. Going into that jog in place again. Just keep those feet moving, never stop moving, keep those lungs open, barely letting that foot touch the ground before you're hopping back over the other side. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready with that high knee pause and start it up. It's a really nice quick motion, basically just like regular high knees. You want to move those feet as quick as you possibly can, but every third time you're going to pause with one knee up in the air. Hold it for just a couple seconds and then move it back again, another 3 steps. Just keep that motion going. You want to make sure everything is under control constantly, because as soon as you hit that pause motion, you have to hold it. So if you're out of control, you're going to lose your balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go to that active rest, just jogging in place in that boxer shuffle. Again, if you want to make it harder, just start speeding those feet up a little bit more, or start doing a little bit higher knee motion. Moving to fly jacks next. And switch it. Those fly jacks come straight in front of your chest, just like you're clapping, a really big clapping motion right in front of that chest. The legs do the same exact motion as a regular jumping jack, just out and back. Every single time those hands come together, those feet come together, and every time those feet come apart, those hands come apart. It's a nice big full range of motion. Again, try to keep everything nice and tight, those legs and those arms. Never let those arms or legs out of control, never let them go loose. Just keep that motion going, keep those lungs open. Got just about 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch that active rest. Go ahead and drop down to that mat for our first exercise. We're going to be switching back and forth between bicycle crunches and a lunge jack. Now that lunge jack we're going to have to stand back up for, but before that, let's go ahead and start off with that bicycle crunch. And start it up. Just alternating back and forth. Remember, this is a bicycle crunch and not a crisscross crunch. So you can bring that elbow all the way forward to that knee. You can bring that knee all the way back to that chest. So make sure you get a really nice big circular motion with that foot. You're trying to do like you're pedaling a bike. So a nice big circular motion out and back. And stand back up. We're going to do that jog in place. Just keep those feet moving, bouncing back and forth nice and quick. We're switching into that lunge jack and switch it. Stepping forward, those hands come down underneath your leg as you step back up. Those arms come over your head. This is a nice slow motion. If you want to speed it up, you can, but make sure you have everything under control. Never let those arms or legs flail around. 10 seconds left till we switch back to that jog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and jog in place. Again, nice quick motion, staying up on the ball of that foot, just bouncing back and forth, nice and quick. Our next 2 exercises are going to be plank slaps and stutter jacks. So let's go ahead and drop down into a push-up position for that first exercise, the plank slaps, and get it started. Those hands are going to come up to those shoulders, just alternating back and forth, keeping those hips down nice and low, just like a regular plank position. So nice straight line from shoulder to ankle, or as close to as you can control. And then moving back and forth, slapping that hand to that shoulder. So right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder. Let's go and get started with our cool down. We're going to be starting off with a lunging hamstring stretch.
So hope you all enjoyed the activities. See you in the next session. Stay safe at home. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.